Hi everyone, this is going to be a tutorial on how to fill out your monthly report form, which is also known as the MRF. So this is what it looks like. And you need to make sure that you have Microsoft Excel because the monthly report form is an Excel file, and without the program you cannot fill out the MRF and submit it. So I'm going to show you how to first download the MRF. So you go to cnhkeyclub.org. It is also known as a cyber key. So you go to members, officers, and then secretary. And you click on these links and it should download, but just download the ones that you prefer. There's two different formats. So I already downloaded the file, so let's get right to it. So the first page is the introduction page. It is green. It's just an introduction page. It explains what the purpose of the MRF is and just all its key features and why it's there. So let's move on to task 1. So I'm just going to zoom in, put this at full screen. So the term is already filled out for you, 2014-2015, and your club name. I'm just going to type in a random name. So Aqua Ape, and the club number, it should start with H, and I don't know my club's name automatically, but right off the top of my head, there's random numbers. So we are from Region 17, Division 34 North. Also, if you don't have access to your club number, you can also just ask me and I will gladly provide it for you, but it should also be on the MRF from the previous term. So if you contact the past secretary, they should know it and they should be able to send you the file to give you the information. So for club information, this is very self-explanatory. You can get all this information from your school website, and if your club specifically has a website, not the school website but your club, you can input it here, but if your club doesn't have one, just leave it blank. Also input your club reflector group if your club has one, but again, you don't need to have one. And in most cases, the reflector group is a Google group. Your sponsoring Kiwanis Club. If you don't know who your sponsoring Kiwanis Club is, just make sure to contact me and ask me and I will gladly give you the information. So for meeting time and location, make sure to be specific and put the time and the actual room number and everything. So let's say 12:31 p.m. room E24. Over here, you just list out the names of the club officers and advisors, and all of these positions, they're not needed, but if your club does have these positions, just make sure to fill out whoever has that position. And then these are just general questions, pretty self-explanatory, and if you don't know your official membership of the beginning of the term and your official membership by February 1st, you can just contact me and I'll gladly provide you the information also. Moving on to the club roster directory. Rostery, why did I say that? Okay, so I personally think this tab is really important, but again, it's not needed, but I highly recommend filling it out because if you need to contact somebody from your club, or if you send monthly emails or weekly emails, this is a great resource to put everyone's email, so you can just copy and paste and just put it on the email list. So yeah. So for advisors, it's pretty self-explanatory, just their contact information. And for club members, so what's really important here is that their names and their name and whether they paid or not, it transfers over to the service record and to the member recognition program. So that's something that's really important. So going back to the club roster directory. So your position, president, vice president, number, email, very self-explanatory. And for the member ID, you can get the member ID on the Membership Update Center. And if you don't know what the Membership Update Center is, I will show you. So I don't know the exact link, but I just type in Key Club. Actually, no, I just type in Membership Update Center. It should show. Why isn't it working? Sorry about that. So anyways, so you don't have to fill out the mailing address and the city, but it's there if you really want to get all this information from them. So what's really important is the paid column, and you have to keep track of which members paid their dues or not and which members didn't pay their dues or not, because this really gives them the eligibility to apply to scholarships, to attend events such as DCON and RTC and international convention and whatnot. So just make sure to keep track. Committee is also not mandatory, but if they are a part of a committee, then just put whatever committee they're a part of. So yeah, I just search up Membership Update Center, and the first link that should pop up is this Membership Update Center, Kiwanis International, and there should be Key Club. Click on that, and it should bring you here. I think if you type in keyclub.org/MUC, yeah, that also works. So you can do that too. Just figured that out now. But basically, who has access to this is your faculty advisor. So just ask them for the information, because your club number and all the members' IDs should be on there. But please don't add members who haven't paid yet, because every time you add a member, it charges your club. So you have to make sure that your members have paid, okay? So moving on, service record. Service record is really important, where you can keep track of all the members' hours individually. So you can see these rows over here. It has this green little corner thing, and if I double click on it, there's like this formula thing. So just don't mess with it. But basically, it means that all the names that you input on here, it transfers over. So these are just random names. So you can see that it transfers over right here. So this is pretty self-explanatory. You just add the event and the date. And there's also an example right here. It is in green. Also, it adds the hours for you, so you can see I put 1 hour here, and then say I served 2 hours or 5 hours, and then 3 hours. So it all adds up. See, total service 9, and total hours 9. So yeah. And another thing, if your members reach 50 hours, it turns green. See? Say I put like 48 or something. Alright, just kidding, I can't do my math. Basically, if it isn't 50, it's not green. So it has to be 50. And this just shows you who's eligible to go to DCON, because we do need 50 hours in order to go to DCON. I'm just going to leave that there for transfer issues. So let's go to the membership recognition program tab. So this tab was added this year recently, and it's a new program where the district wants to recognize members, not just officers, because we know that we have contests near decon, and a lot of members are like lazy to fill out to actually apply, but this just enables more recognition within the members. So you can see that all the names transferred again, and whether you paid your dues or not, it transfers again also, and also the service record. So say I put 50 hours here, and it transfers over here. So I'm actually going to type what falls into these categories and its explanation, because I've made numerous tutorials, and it just makes the video really long, so it's just easier if I type it out and you don't have to go through every single second of me explaining everything. So I'm just going to explain the live saved from MNT really quickly. So a life is $1.80. So if I raise $100 for MNT, which is Project Eliminate, you divide it by 180 and you should get a number. So I got 55.555556. So I would round it up, so I'm just gonna put 56. But say that all three of us did a fundraiser and we raised, say, another $50, or no, let's say 100. So you would divide that by 180 again, and you would give everybody credit. Does that make sense? So say they get 56 and they get 56 because we raised another $100, but I get another 56 because I raised $50 on my own. I mean $100 on my own, sorry. And then I help the club raise another $100 through the car wash. Does that make sense? So it would be 112. Yes? So just make sure to read thoroughly with the emails that I sent, and yeah. So this tab is for the upcoming board. So you just fill it out, and yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just contact information. So let's move on to the annual report and project list. So the annual report is a tab that you don't touch at all. Same with the project list, because all your monthly submissions, April, May, June, July, August, it transfers over to these tabs. So these month tabs are the actual tabs that you fill out every month. And after you're done with everything else, it's pretty easy. And yeah, so you can see that all the information transferred over. So Aqua Ape, all of this is from task 1, except for this portion. The new members paid this month. And if you don't have any members for that specific month, just leave it blank. So for attendance, for general meetings, this isn't the first week that you had a meeting, but this is the first week of the month. So say that you had your first meeting on the second week of August. So you would go to week 2 and you would put the date. Yes? And you just put the members present, and if faculty or Kiwanis advisors are present, or guest speakers or a program speaker. Yes. And then for interclubs, the KF or KC, the interclub codes are all right here. S is with sponsor, KF is with Kiwanis family, not sponsor, and KC is with another key club. And the same thing applies, just put whatever week it's in, and this is all for general meetings. And for board meetings, it's the same thing. So say you had a board meeting the 3rd week of March. You just put the date. And the same thing with these. And you don't have to fill this out, but if your members do attend a Kiwanis club a Kiwanis club meeting or a Kiwanis DCM, just put in the date and put yes. And then for division and region, so any communication you had with me, or your club specifically, not you, but yeah, so I'm just going to put all methods. So if your club attended the division council meeting or the DCM, yes, and how many were there, so how many were in attendance, and random stuff. Kiwanis, say like 1 member attended. So these happen every month, once a month, unless there's a special occasion. So for the region meeting / event, region events are conclave, region training conference, which is also RTC, officer training conference, which is also OTC, candidate training conference, which is also CTC. So there's all our acronyms, but you'll get it. So this is officer training conference, and most of these, they don't occur every month, so you don't have to fill these out every month. So region meetings or events, they usually occur every couple of months. And for officer training conference, you would fill this out in June because that is when officer training conference is held. And for the president and secretary at the training conference, you just record whether they were there or not, and also if the advisor was at the training conference or not. And it's really easy to recognize which ones are training conferences and which ones are not, because at the end of the event name, it says training conference, officer training conference, region training conference, candidate training conference. And there's also a special one for region training conference. The same thing with officer training conference. So for RTC, you would fill this out in September because that is when it is held. And for special events, the same thing. These happen once a year. So fall rally, you would fill this out in October. If your club had a banquet, you just put how many were present, members and advisors. And also if your club attended the division banquet, which is going to be in February, that is when you'd fill it out. Kiwanis special function, that would be Kiwanis special games or Kiwanis decon or things like that. So key leader. And for this section specifically, the candidate section, if somebody ran from your club, say for lieutenant governor or for a district or international position, you would just put yes. Yeah. So CNH convention, that's decon. KCI convention, that's icon. And decon is district convention. Icon is international convention. And if you don't know what those are, you can always just ask me and I'll gladly explain it to you. So for the project title, this is just what your club has done throughout the month. So it could be a fundraiser or a service project or a social. I'm just typing these names out because I'm just like as an example, but be specific. I don't know, a car wash, that's a fundraiser. Service project. Beach cleanup. No. So you just put how many. So this is for specifically service hours. But if members didn't serve any hours, such as at a social, you would just leave it blank, but you would still fill out the total number of members. So say for the beach cleanup, we served 50 hours as a club, and 5 members went, so every member served 10 hours. And you would also put this on the service record, event and date, and whoever went to the event and got hours for it. I can't zoom in anymore. So this is pretty self-explanatory. You just mark X for all that apply. So car wash, do the service event, and yeah. So basically, if you have a car wash or any type of fundraiser really, and a portion of it goes towards charity, it's considered service. So just make sure to take note of that. And for Governor Focus / project, the Governor's focus this year is Project Eliminate. So any service event that involves Project Eliminate, you would mark this. Also for major emphasis focus, that is anything with UNICEF, Project Eliminate, PTP, or even, yeah, those are basically it. And yeah, so if you have a fundraiser, say for the car wash, you record how many funds were raised for service and how many are raised for your club. And maybe your club decided for it to all just go to your club, so you just input the number. So say we served or we earned like $400 or something, or 40,000, so 400. And also record how many funds that you spent on the project. Sorry guys, I'm sick, but basically this just helps you keep track of your treasury records, and that's really important. So you make sure you're not losing any money. And we're gonna skip this whole big box really quickly. So under project snapshots, it transfers over. So you can see that I type it in and it transfers over here. And the number of hours and the funds raised. And also, if you had somebody in charge of that event, you can put their name as a chair. So I'm just gonna put myself as a chair, just as an example. And yeah, so some secretaries, what they like to do is when they don't fill out all the columns, and your club does not have to fill out all the columns. A lot of clubs don't, but you can just highlight everything, and then you can go to format, and then you can put hide row. And some secretaries like to do this because it just looks nicer and it just looks more cleaner. So, but it's optional, you don't have to do this. So for the club snapshot, you just provide a description of your club successes and just further explanations and comments that you have. So it's basically your club's voice. So you can tell me about any struggles you had, or if your club fair was really successful, things like that. Anything, really. But just please make sure to don't make it just like a sentence like this month we fundraised. Like, that's not something that I would like to see. I want to see what your club did more specifically. And it doesn't have to be like a super long essay, but if it's 3 to 5 sentences, it's fine. And that's it. So once you're done with the MRF, click save and go to your email. So I send out a submission thread, and it looks like this. The subject line is submission MRFs. So this submission thread is just for me to organize MRFs better, and so I don't have to go from email to email to email. So it just helps me organize your MRFs, because I do need to compile all the information that you filled out on your MRF to my MRF. So yeah. And all you need to do is just reply, and don't reply to, well, you can't see this. The only thing you can see is this. So just make sure to reply and attach your MRF. You can drag it or click this little, I don't know what that's called, and just find your file and attach it. And that's it. And just make sure to send. You can say a little something like, hello, this is Aqua Ape's MRF for the month of August. Thank you. Simple as that. And you press send, and you're good to go. Also, you don't have to reply to everyone, because over here you can see that it's replied, it's sent to multiple people, and you can just click, oh, maybe I can't do that because it's my own email, but basically you have the option of just replying to a specific person, or you can reply to all. Reply to all. So it's really up to you if you're comfortable with other people seeing your work of the MRF, but it's really up to you. It's not required or anything, but just make sure to reply, okay? And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you still need help, please contact me and I will help you more. Yes? Okay, thank you.